Welcome to This Hurts You More Than Us, an opinionated podcast
where two assholes talk shit. Welcome to the show. Well, what's up, everybody? This is Chris Cowan with Loose Reality Inc., and over there is Brad, just Brad, if you listen to the first episode. Speaking of which, we want to thank everyone for staying tuned, and we are so proud and appreciative of everyone who literally stayed during the 13-minute long.
Yeah, at least 10 of you showed up.
At
noon, and then you were gone. I appreciate the showing up. Thank you.
Those of you that came back, we love you.
Yeah, so we had no idea that...
I didn't know that 13 minutes was a fucking option.
Yeah, we didn't know that YouTube was going to do a
5-minute one.
We didn't know they were going to do like a countdown. Like if that were the case, like if the shit starts at noon, why wouldn't they start the countdown before
that's
noon?
What I thought premiering was. I said I wanted it to premiere at noon, and I have another YouTube channel that's got hundreds of views and hundreds of followers, just hundreds because it's just a business page for portfolios. But that one, when you do schedule a premiere, it does it live, but it also does it right on the time you say, and it starts the timer 5 minutes before. This time it went to a random 13-minute, and immediately I wanted to remind everyone in a way that I could that remember, we're kind of learning as we go.
Yeah, this is a learning process.
We're not a master of this craft by far yet.
We literally did not buy the book on podcasting. There is a book on podcasting nowadays.
There's a Idiot's Guide to Idiot's Guides.
Yeah, you're gonna have to forgive us. We
told you we had public school education. You know what it's like,
right? And at least we're it's still out there. You can still watch it.
Positive feedback. For those of you that don't know, we do a lot of recording on Sunday and then edit it throughout the week. So we are recording on the day of, or the evening of the very first episode. We released it today, earlier on Halloween, and
surprisingly, it was, I guess unsurprisingly,
it was successful in spite of our fuck-ups.
well, no, the unsurprising thing is that, like, I was completely and 100% filled with anxiety over a little, just like a
clips in the audio.
Well, yeah, just every little tiny thing that I thought in editing wasn't quite good enough, but
yeah, ladies and gentlemen,
here we are.
A lot of crap for Loose Reality Inc. And because I'm constantly behind the computer, Brad is actually the one doing the majority of the audio editing, and he's doing it through Audacity.
I know nothing about it.
We literally picked it up. We started recording, and we had 22 minutes of edited content that we had for like 2 weeks, and then we recorded the weekend before the episode dropped and edited it all and did it all within that week.
Right.
Which is kind of going to have to be our schedule now.
And if you listen to the first episode, the first like 11 or 12 minutes,
the first 11 minutes,
you
and
can
then the next 11.
You can tell that the first 11 minutes the audio is a bit different, and that's because
that was the one we recorded at your home.
That's the one we recorded at my house, and we were using two separate computers to record two separate sections of audio, so it actually took me like 2 or 3 days to stitch together those two sections of audio that we recorded just to get it together to make it sound right. And I had to like move the slider so like a millimeter, like a 32nd of an inch to the left.
I could tell the longer Brad edited on each day of the weekend, the further he got from being obsessively able to just cut out little blank silences and little short things to playing it on double speed for 20 minutes straight, trying to just rush through it.
Oh, dude! Once I found the double speed, man, it was dope. That's why you get that little.
Speaking of which, I left a comment where I said, or not a comment. It's in the description of the episode. I don't know if you read it yet, but because I was trying to get it to get more views and just be more descriptive on the YouTube channel, I actually said, well, I'm going to arbitrarily promise a little kind of clip at the end of every episode for our special every minute of every episode listeners who pay attention to the last bit, if I can remember to incorporate this actually keep
if I
doing
can remember to do it every time, and we'll try, because it's like, in just listening to listening to it,
you sound like Simon and me, Theodore.
Right, it was
weird.
It was like the chipmunks in their 30s in a podcast, and it was fucking hilarious. And that's almost like that's an idea for a podcast that we probably should have done.
Yeah, we probably would have gotten a lot more hits instantly. Like the chipmunks talk about Fred Durst being a butthole.
Right.
Through transition.
Right, especially since they were musicians in their own right. They would have the right to,
they
like, talk
far
about
outsold Fred Durst to be Fred.
Well, yeah,
Fred.
In musical history, if you make a catchy Christmas tune, you're gonna sell out everyone. It's like Mariah Carey. She's slowly thawing out until Christmas time comes. So
oh my God! So she could perform the New Year's Eve song "Sober Enough," which I think she's like on her 3rd year in a row of like kind of just slurring her way through. All the classics.
I don't know, man. I stopped paying attention to a lot of celebrities like that. Like,
once she married Nick Cannon, and then Nick Cannon started doing episodes of Wiling Out with a turban on, I lost all understanding.
Well, Nick Cannon's hard to understand in general. I mean,
have you heard any of his 3 different diss songs where he literally?
Of course not. Point out someone who has.
I have, because I actually know the people on the track.
But Nick Cannon is not a good rapper.
No, he's
a good
not.
Businessman. He is.
He's very intelligent and talented, multifaceted.
He was smart enough to,
pour himself out to.
Well, and not only that, but also put his not put all his eggs in one basket.
Right.
He spread his shit out there, and yeah, he does some corny shit every once in a while. And when he wants to get his hood card back, he joins the freestyle part of Wildin' Out.
Lost all hood card when being punked by JJ Abrams and Drumline. Or yeah, that was who the teacher was, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It was one of the old white guys that
I remember going to see Drumline in high school.
Were you in the band? Were you in band?
No, but I dated someone in band.
Yeah.
She was a flag girl. I
forgot that she was a flag girl.
Yeah, man. That's the girls who couldn't be cheerleaders, so they were.
Yeah, that was the girls the cheerleaders picked on.
Right.
And then I think it was the chorus geeks or the band geeks that the flag girls picked on. And if you were really the lowest on the totem pole, I think you were the baton.
The baton tour. That's what the flag girls were.
Yeah.
Essentially, I just smacked the microphone. I'm sorry.
He was petting his beard. But no, what I was saying about Nick Cannon's song. Okay, he released 2 songs, and he decided that he was going to swing his money around. And trying to swing your money around with comparing, musical statistics with, the greatest of all time,
at that
status
point,
level Eminem. But he got Hitman Holla, Clips. What the fuck is his name?
I have no. Charlie Clips?
Charlie Clips, thank you.
Okay.
And then Hitman Holla, Charlie Clips, and I think there was one other on there. It definitely wasn't fucking Sharon. Sharon was the white boy, and the only smart one that went, yeah, Nick Cannon, I ain't following you to this one. I mean, you put 5 G's in my pocket every day, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'm saying, didn't Nick Cannon have a lot of money into the battle rap scene for a while?
Absolutely not.
No,
he has a lot of money in the battle rap now because he's literally siphoned Hitman Holla, Clips, Conceited. Literally, for people that
Conceited,
don't know
yeah, I remember
Conceited. He's a fucking meme. That face.
Well,
meme face.
Yeah,
nobody knows who that is.
And he's on Wildin' Out all the time, isn't he?
Yeah. So is Sharon. That's who I'm talking about. All those people, they're now on fucking Wildin' Out, and literally the only time Hitman Holla, Charlie Clips, Sharon, or any of them are used is when it's Wild Style, and fucking Sharon's got to look over at DJ Fuckface and go, cut the beat, and nobody buys the authenticity in that voice.
Well, and they also, to be honest, you can't be too mad at them because they're also...
I think they're talented and funny. It's just kind of...
No, they're making money off of it. They're still making money off of what they like to do.
Yeah.
Because there's for a couple years there, battle rap
was not a job.
But it was in pop culture. There was
ever since the early...
A lot of the
2001 era,
right. Ever since fucking 8 Mile came out, we can be honest. Ever since 8 Mile come out, the battle rap scene flourished and was in.
I mean, it reinvigorated.
It was in popular culture more so than ever.
I mean, I don't know if you remember this, but before 8 Mile, there was Scribble Jam and all that.
I remember that shit.
An idea and idea.
Well, then you had like what was his name? The Chinese guy. He wasn't really.
He was the one that got signed to Rough Riders. What is his fucking name? Chin something.
Yeah,
something like that.
He was really good. He made like the
he was nasty. He did a battle with Iron Solomon.
Well, he had that line like you say I'm Chinese, dog. Well, here's a reminder. Check out your Timbs. I bet they say made in China. God, I can't remember his name.
Those are just like pre-rebuttals and.
But still, like going into like current times, shit like Wildin' Out is the only place you could really go to use those skills and still make money off it. They're getting a paycheck like every fucking time, like basically for what you and I make a year just for one appearance on fucking MTV.
You remember when I was doing the Battle for Benefits project, and my first event was the one that fell through, the Baltimore Battle for Autism. So I was trying to get you and me to do a 2-on-2 with fucking the head of face-off battles before I went over and started working with pit fights and then KOTD and everybody else. But before, when I was still in the, place that they lovingly and artistically used the word store when describing this 4x4 closet.
Oh, are you talking about when we drove down into like fucking East Baltimore and we were trying to find the store to go to the battle?
Yeah, and it was in between two like delis and like
and it was like
there was 13 pieces of clothing in the entire building, and it looked like it was just a wood paneling child predator van. Right.
It was basically just like it was a room that had the landlord special. Everything was just painted over with white in hopes that you didn't notice the shit that was wrong with it.
Yeah, except for the youth group feeling vibe of wood paneling. But I will say I had never in my life experienced having to see a Black Panther type of individual I respect greatly, Shaka Pitts from Pit Fights Battle League. I had to pull this man off, who is a very intimidating and scary person. He's the only person that ever went, Christopher Cowan, and I went, it's Cowan, and he goes, I'm from Brooklyn, I don't care. Right. And I went, well, fuck. I've got nothing for that, and you frankly intimidate me.
Well, speaking
but I had to break up a fight with him and another grown man who used to go by the name The Artist and was a really respectful and great, like, poetic artist, and then decided to switch it up all together and put on a Monkey Man a face mask and start doing bars like my monkey bars go over your head, which is kind of like an Arsenal ripoff bar. But you remember the videos that I or not the video, the videos I was editing for the one league,
right,
where we were performing in a strip club. We actually had that one packed, but the Monkey Man jumped on the stage doing a little monkey dance, sniffed the stripper pole, and reenacted the scene where the monkey snips his finger and then faints out the tree.
Yeah.
Like, literally did it perfect and then got beat up by Shaka Pitts in front of everybody.
Didn't you end up going to, like, lunch or breakfast with Pat Stay?
Oh, my God. Dude, if he hears this, I'm gonna be fucked. And I mean that in figuratively and literally way. Dude,
right, okay, that's the point. Well, that's why I bring it up, because it turned out, like, and Pat Stay... much respect. That dude had most
amazing Devo,
some of the nastiest fucking bars,
and then some of the funniest, and just the what I like about
like when he shit on Marv 1 and his like autistic brother or whatever.
What said is you with and smacked the slobber off his lip, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
That shit was
he's
intense.
Not here to defend himself.
But I could totally see that dude as the same type of guy that makes overly homoerotic jokes.
Brad, you know who Troy Brown is. He's a local legend. He's a well-respected rapper.
Yeah, I know
who
Troy
is
Brown.
A pimp and would never sit there and continuously make homoerotic jokes. Pat Stay walked and suddenly Coma's down on his knees and trying to suck the ever-loving shit out of Pat Stay's cock. He paid for this man to come out and basically pay for our bar tab. Fairly certain that ended up with some weird... That night sucked. Rest in peace, Codes. My ALR Inc. partner who died that night from a heart embolism. I still have his name band from the show that I put together in honor for him, and he was my very first outside of, regular freelancing business partners to actually push me and make me get so involved with battle rap. I mean, literally, I was co-hosting and, you know, doing all that shit because he had kept pushing me. He would just call me out and be like, "Hey, man, what's up? What's up, coach?" So I put out like 3 freestyles. You recorded a video, edited it, but you know what? You haven't done? And I was like, what? He's like, you ain't made the next move or the move after that yet. And he'd be fucking on me every week and calling me out and be like, this is bullshit. I ain't gonna rep ALR and Kin no more. And like just threatening me constantly.
Well, you just weren't working hard enough for him.
No, I wasn't. And you know what? When we were getting the shows in Connecticut and driving up to Rhode Island, fucking Chicago, and then fucking when I went to Canada, actually, I've been to Canada like 3 times now. Once for
once for tech, once for rap.
once for tech and once for rap.
Twice for tech, once for rap.
No, other way around.
Twice for rap.
Yeah, twice for rap and KOT events. I was going to be at the event that Drake was supposed to be at, but he no-showed the second event after having to watch every battle before DNA versus Disaster.
Please excuse our host for not knowing to turn his phone on silent while we're recording.
Last time you guys heard that that was also my computer not going on silent.
Yeah, that was the PC just being a dick.
But okay, I know what Brad was referencing, and it is a story worth telling. But Pat Stay, I want to tell you this with all honesty and respect.
Do we want to leave something like that for possible like Patreon stuff or like member stuff?
Yeah, I will tell a little bit of the lead-in, and then there's a follow-up, and then an email that was made, as well as something that I could. I'm not going to be sitting here and putting drama out from the rap scene or local music, because you know I've been. You've been active in it too.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of shit I've seen that I'm not going to put out here.
12 years ago.
Well, yeah. But I mean, I haven't done battle rap in like 5 years. But the driving with fucking Coma, who paid for his first battle. Or no, Coma battled Codes and literally spent 15 minutes preaching to him about how he was a psychologist and his alcoholism was going to kill him and this, that, and the other. And then he paid for his next battle, which was against Remy D. Remy D, great battle rapper. Fucking, not someone who's going to be way expensive. They're those guys that are like in the legend status but aren't active that much. $1,000. Fucking Real Deal was the King of the Dot champ and told me give him $500. He'd drive down and do the show.
And he's like a teacher in Pittsburgh.
He's a teacher in Pittsburgh, and he's a coach, and he's literally Stephanie.
This is slowly turning into a battle rap podcast.
Yeah, this will be done. But no, Stephanie, the girl that we both know, I can't remember her last name, but she literally lives a couple of houses down from him and sends me pictures every once in a while of them playing basketball, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. But he's a real chill dude, and he wanted to do the show for cheap. But like Remy D came out, Coma paid $1,000 to battle him, and they had a good battle about the differences of growing up in a black culture while being white or black and the different struggles they both faced. And Coma tried to turn his white privilege into this like badge of honor that he wore with a deep dark heart. And it just made it really fucking awkward to where the point, if you watch Remy D versus Coma, there is a look on like you see the smaller and more skittish white people start getting the rock eyebrow, and it goes all the way up to the 6'2" behemoth, making battle rappers like Troy Brown do gay freestyles. It was
like
disproportionately scary.
Yeah, you're talking about like the Pat Stay and Roan,
well,
like the friendship battle.
Yeah. Where if you watch the intro, there's a scene where Roan actually is in the car with him, and he really does have a Cadillac, like on like fucking 20-inch chrome dubs he rolls up in.
Dude, I'd have to say that friendship battle or whatever it was with Roan and Pat Stay, they even did a doubles.
Roan and Pat Stay versus Shuffle and Marlowe from the UK.
Dude, that shit was so fucking funny.
Yeah, I love the idea of
by far, because you're flipping the whole script like that, like turning the whole,
and they would get
turning the whole battle rap
sound like they were gonna insult you, and then make it sound
turning the whole thing around on its heels was like, at that time it was just so fucking funny. And it's not that their bars were fucking amazing.
Than they were when they were just
right. But they weren't like the most amazing bars ever. It's just the fact that he was like telling Pat Stay he wanted to like walk his dog and shit. Like that shit.
You are sexy as shit.
Right, like just the intensity of telling him how good looking he was. Like that shit was fucking. Look at
me the way Shuffalo looked at Pat Stay.
I mean.
Then again, Pat Stay looked at me in a way I don't want anybody else to look at me.
Yeah, okay.
When there is a man with a bear-sized bear tattoo on his bear of an arm, that he's literally always walking around like this, if he's not walking into URL wearing a pimp coat from the 80s.
He said like this. He was talking like with his elbow, in
he was
flexing motion.
He was acting Vin Diesel. But he is like Vin Diesel's... Well, no, he makes Vin Diesel look like a tiny person. But he is...
Pat Stay?
Yeah. He's like 6'2" and 350 pounds at least.
Oh, I always assumed, I never looked it up, but I always assumed Vin Diesel was one of those people who was actually really short, and they just made him.
Yeah, he's like 5'9". He's like an average height.
I mean, I don't know if that's true, but
I will tell you, I had a difficult find when Coleman and I rode up to.
He did breakdancing once. I saw him spinning in his head.
Yes, he did. Fucking the
how to breakdance video.
Yeah, the Re-Res channel on YouTube.
They're so good. You Google Vin Diesel breakdancing, and it's awesome. He has an afro and a sweatband.
Yes.
Yeah, and the full.
It is straight out of the 80s.
The outfit he's wearing is so windbreaker. Wind never stood a chance. Like, and he's doing leg spins. Like, it's great.
Okay, now we're doing it again. Fuck me.
All right.
I don't know how to speak English. Okay, there's something called hatchet disease where I just cannot get the words out correctly.
Yeah.
Or when I say something like complex and in order and perfectly, people go, "He didn't fuck it up!" really loudly in the middle of a beautiful wedding.
For the first,
that's how bad I am.
For the first 10 years I knew him, he couldn't say the word remember. It's
remember. Okay,
remember.
people. There's an N in there somewhere.
No.
I may just be dyslexically seeing M by choice.
Okay, so we started off with like the apology for our streaming process and how terrible we are at it.
We did try taking.
We did our best for the first time. Like I feel like we did okay. Like
we're having a week.
If we were going thumbs up or thumbs down, we got it sideways. We got a decent okay for.
Oh man, I feel like we have a Orange Cassidy halfway thumbs up.
Okay, so halfway that would be. It was kind of alright.
Kind of like what my thumb looks like when I twitch.
We fucked up on streaming, but that's kind of expected, especially in the first episode.
And then I fucked up on YouTube, which honestly, for me to do, is kind of amateurish. I don't know how I did that.
But like, why the fuck?
I don't know why 13 is an option.
Why does every single channel in existence have its own streaming service now? Like, streaming is ruining streaming. Like every channel. Before it was like, all right, you had Netflix. And then you had Hulu.
And Hulu had a free option for so long.
Right, they had that free option where you could just watch like the same 5 commercials.
Once in the middle, and then once in the end, and one in the beginning.
Right, and no matter what you were doing, you were watching the same commercials.
You know what's not doing that same kind of deal in a decent way? Fucking NBC and Peacock. We talked about it earlier for a brief second, wanting to mention it. But they're ruining the WWE's history.
Right, well, that was my point, is that everything has a streaming service now. Like, we had streaming in place of cable, because
they did shut down.
Cable was too expensive for the amount of bullshit they put on there. Like, I'm paying $100+ a month
for 16 different time zones of HBO.
It's stupid. And now that... All right, you have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have Disney, you have HBO, you have Showtime.
That's going to be ongoing content.
Right, but now you have Peacock. Like seriously, did NBC really need its own fucking streaming service?
I'm getting OnlyFans vibes from streaming.
Right, like what the fuck? Like why?
Out there.
Now, if I want to watch everything I want to watch, I have to subscribe to all these different streaming services.
Amazon Prime, Hulu,
and then
YouTube Premium.
And then be like, oh,
it's still on fucking Crackle.
And it's the same amount. Fuck it, I'll just pay for cable now.
See, that's why you've known me for years. Anytime I've had the choice or the ability, all I ever get in my place is internet. That's all I need.
Right, and that's how I've been for the last fucking 8 years now as well, because there's no point in anything else, because I can just use the internet to watch what I want to watch. But nowadays they're making it so much harder to do that. If you haven't spent 20 years picking apart the internet and learning torrent sites and learning the proper shit,
was
fucking y'all didn't have LimeWire and what was it, Kazaa in your fucking computer. That
if you were ever a horny teenager with Kazaa, you once killed a computer somewhere. Yeah, there's somewhere there's a computer. You tried to download Down with the Sickness and got a audio Down with the
Kermit
Sickness.
the Frog or Donald.
Oh my
Kermit
God,
the Frog
Kermit the Frog
smoking weed. No, Kermit the Frog smoking weed, or Donald Duck.
Yes.
Getting a blowjob.
Look at the balls.
Yeah, that was like one of the main trolls back then.
Or the multiple songs that were contributed to Linkin Park or fucking Weird Al that were just someone going blah, 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 and it's just catchy enough.
It was
to be an earworm.
It was that stupid fucking gremlin that they had for the text tones. That's that fucking thing. It was
that was a fucking commercial. That was worse than waking up to the "We are now signing off."
And the funny thing is that these stupid ass fucking advertisements and shit that you knew not to click on back in the day
are now subversive as fuck.
No, they haven't changed at all. You go on these like
yeah, but then how
for
come
instance,
our kids can't tell the difference, but we knew better?
Because they're fucking stupid. Kids are fucking stupid.
I had a woman that from a dating site like a year ago when she said, "Oh, you're good with computers," and I said, "Yeah." And she started making dad joke puns about things like cookies and all the other little kind of first my first PC joke kind of book,
right.
Like the Linus Media kids book of tech release kind of jokes,
right.
Which is a real thing. He did release a book, and I'm gonna buy that bitch. But that's only because I love Linus to death. He's a great man. He's a good man. He's funny too, but he does look like a small little. Furrier and much less threatening.
Small and little.
Small, furry, and much less threatening than Ellen looks, but also still kind of like a lesser threatening Ellen.
I'd say Linus is a male clone of Ellen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, we'd go that route. Hello,
if
Linus.
I could actually get Hi, Linus. Thank you for shouting me out for doing the old PCs and shit.
I love your tech. Please keep putting things in mineral oil and
get back to that mineral. They actually do not make. The problem is, I saw the episode, but also, you know me, I have a wall-mounted PC, and this is one of many fucking like custom ones I've done. Not like I've ever been able to keep any ones nicer than this myself, though.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. It looks really cool until you have a base knowledge of PC building, and you're like, he just didn't want to buy a tower.
That's not it at all. I had
that was just the insult.
Yeah,
I liked it, but no, it does look the wall mounted's pretty dope.
He's got me lovingly staring at this thing.
That's
the loose reality.
That's you sucking your own dick. I'm just gonna stare.
I'm good at it, but you know what?
It looks good. God, I'm just staring at it. And it looks real good. If
you were that well endowed, I'm sure you would spend some time rubbing your ego. That's how I'm gonna say it.
He is very good at what he does, but he's also
I'm confident in it. Yes, I am.
Yeah, but at the same time, you put too many zip ties where they don't need to go. That's
OCD. I'm not proud of that.
Right, the wire management can be a little chill sometimes. You can chill a little bit.
So earlier today,
I need to be able to move my if I don't have a wireless mouse, I should be able to move it more than 13 centimeters.
I had to come over to your house because you work a job where you don't know exactly when you're going to come home. But you got two boys and a woman who sometimes needs.
Yeah, and it's not my fault. Neither of them could check plugs.
It's not my fault. 20 minutes over there with a fucking case of tools and fucking.
Because the monitor was unplugged.
It wasn't the monitor unplugged. The GPU cord from the monitor kind of got loose from the GPU.
Right.
And all I did was kind of push the PC back, and it lit right up. And she was like, "What'd you do?"
What was it?
She's so animated. She's so animated. I love her.
I just don't. It's not my fault Like I try,
it's not my fault.
I try to teach them about the computers in general, but they don't give a fuck if it's not Fortnite or I don't know. I put in a dual monitor system. It's just 2.
He's actually got a really nice I think it's 2K monitor.
It's just 2, and I was trying. Like it took me forever to convince my kid who's like playing Fortnite all the time or Roblox or whatever that he doesn't have to put YouTube on the TV. That he literally has a second screen that he can just put YouTube on the other screen.
Right.
And like, sometimes he's like watching the how-to videos and shit like that he wants to be able to emulate as he's watching it. But it took me forever to get him to just like use the screen, and then I had to do a dick move and remove the screen because of the VR taking too much of the GPU. Like
the resources, it's
right. Well, the monitor
up for no reason.
Right, the monitor was taking up some of the GPU. Your
printer was doing off too.
Yeah, the printer was taking up the fucking USB port, and like just by plugging in the USB from
because that's always active, but USB isn't.
Yeah, well, just because the VR that I used was the Samsung Odyssey Plus, and that plugs into HDMI as well as USB for like power, and it uses the 2.0 or red port or whatever for the
the red ports are charging port on PCs, dude.
Yeah, it just needs the power port.
Okay,
it doesn't need.
Gotcha.
But just having the printer plugged in as well, it was using up too many of the USB ports. So like my shit was running at 20 hertz. Like it was ridiculous. Like you put the helmet on and you're fucking move. It was
the only time I've ever done VR in any setting besides the PS4 was at your house, and you let me punch your fucking table. Like
that was funny.
He legitimately was watching me get closer to the table and not realizing I had moved my center of gravity. Look, we're using 6% CPU and 31% of memory to record, and this is a 16-core machine. The USB things, like I have a hub and a bunch of other stuff that's kicked in for the equipment.
You're using almost 20% of your GPU just to do this moving background.
Actually, that's like 5%. My GPU is the 69. Jesus Christ, Radeon 6900. 6900 or XT, I forget, but it's a decent card, and this is more of a looping GIF. But the thing that takes up most of my GPU is usually rendering shit, and it's more of an editing PC. And I totally lost my point.
All right, so like mid-recording, we had to take a break so I could go to my mother's like birthday celebration. Today's her birthday. Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom.
It was in typical I moved out of Baltimore to Pasadena fashion. It was at a bar, and the bar, again, typical Pasadena fashion, was like basically built into a house in a random neighborhood in Pasadena.
Wait, where were you? I know all the parts.
The Magathy Inn.
Okay.
And apparently you can't say fuck in
what?
If you say it, you'll get yelled at, and if you say it twice, they'll ask you. If you get caught saying it twice, they'll ask you to leave.
What the fuck?
And you can pretty much say any other cuss word, but if you say fuck, they'll kick your ass out of there.
I've been kicked out of there multiple times now.
Right. But beer is super fucking cheap, dude. It was normally you go to any kind of bar, the beer's like $6.50 for a draft, right? Minimum, usually like $6.50.
Yeah.
$2 a draft.
Okay.
And I'm talking big ass fucking glasses, like frosted glasses. They fill it up. They don't have a whole lot of head on them. It's $2 a fucking beer. It's dope. But of course, I'm around my family, and they're telling these fucked up stories as they always do. And,
I mean, that's kind of on brand for your family, and the fucked up stories are too.
Right, and that's, we always have new stories. Like my brother's telling a story. My brother's a police officer, and he was telling stories about shit they do in like the locker room and shit at work.
Oh, fuck.
Apparently they have this big black dildo that they pass around.
Oh, God.
That they put in different places. So, like, you'll open your locker.
And you got dildos.
And a big dildo will just swing right at eye level, like, right in your face.
I feel like if you get hit with that, you do the goofy sound effect next.
Right. But that shit fucking
I would
gets
be
me every time.
legitimately afraid to be in any police
Right.
any police station's locker room at any given time.
And then of course, since
Even the women are scary.
they know that we're doing the podcast and stuff together, my brother decided to bring up the time he shot you in the head with a paintball gun.
Oh my god, I've forgotten about that until just fucking
Right,
right
because
now.
remember, like he like it was one of them cheap
Pinpoint
it was,
right in the forehead.
No, it was one of
poof.
those cheap like one pump Walmart paintball guns. And he pumped it and looked at you and said, "Run," and you turned around and started running, and he was like, my prey predator instinct just kicked in, and I had to shoot him. But
oh my
dude,
god! At least he said run instead of I got a pretty mouth, because it was one or the other.
Well, he really said, he was like, if he wouldn't have ran, I wouldn't have shot him. And I didn't necessarily mean to shoot him in the head. It just worked out that perfectly.
Yeah, he just kind of went run, and I was like, I'm gonna do that.
Right.
I'm gonna do that thing, and I did that thing, and I turned around to look, and that's when ping, right off the forehead.
Yep. Knocked your hat off.
And yeah, I remember that. It knocked my hat off, and I did one of those perfect right out of a movie.
Yeah, you did
flying back.
You did the
slow mo.
Well, the overreaction like a wrestler. You know, you got hit and you were like, oh, head flew back, and you had long hair at the time.
Yeah, you sold it well.
It went well.
Man.
But then I overheard one of my aunts, we call her short little old woman because she's like 4'11".
Okay.
She was telling a story about a gift she got for her husband. And it was a care package from a specific town in Missouri.
Oh, here we go. Okay, this story. Okay. I'm curious.
It's Uranus, Missouri.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And
okay.
It's apparently the whole town is just one big fucking pun, and it's a real thing. Like if you go, it's Uranus, Missouri, and one of their main draws there is their fudge factory. And when they send out people. Right, the whole town, and if you look it up, the town says like it's a pun-filled adventure for visitors. My aunt ordered like T-shirts and keychains that are all like
Uranus,
Uranus, Missouri. No, and she got the fudge sent in, and inside there was a little note that said, "Your fudge was lovingly packed by Jessica in Uranus, Missouri."
That is definitely someone's snack for work. That definitely gets pegged.
It's so good. Like, imagine the balls when naming that town.
When going to the government.
Right, and some random dude like me who's not supposed to be allowed to name a town was like...
Like, you're not supposed to have blueprints much
Hey, let's name it Uranus.
Let's do it, guys.
And you know damn well that when you drive into that fucking town, there's a sign that says, now entering Uranus. Now entering Uranus, Missouri.
You're now leaving Uranus. We'll miss you.
Like, that's so perfect.
It's perfect. I bet the naming committee is related to the people who did Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
Probably, or Accident, Maryland.
There's Accident, Maryland?
Oh, yeah, at the very end, the far, like, west tip of Maryland, like, right before you get into, like, West Virginia, there's a small little fucking mountain town called Accident, Maryland.
I believe that's the start of a Glenn Miller or Glenn Jacobs song.
Or a Primus song.
Yeah, Primus, yeah, definitely.
Going down
I'm pretty sure that's how he created most of his music.
Probably.
Like, you ever seen the Dennis Leary show, Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, we were just sat down at the piano and we go... Oh,
dude, my wife did something yesterday or the day before yesterday, that immediately made me realize why I loved her so much. I have no idea why how she knew this, or that she even knew this, but while she was sitting on the floor doing something for a baby shower that she's making shit for, and she immediately out of nowhere started singing that Dennis Leary asshole song.
Oh my god!
Like, yes. I'm an asshole. Like, dude, I was
handicapped places.
Dude, right? I fell in love all over again. Like, that shit was fucking
that
great.
That moment warms your heart. I know.
Right? I'm like, damn, I didn't even know you fucking knew that shit.
Oh my god, I love you so much.
Like, I sing that song in my head on a constant basis.
I had that moment with someone who was much younger than me, but she doesn't. She likes older wrestling stuff. She watched the Attitude Era.
Right.
And she literally uses the meme for, "It was me, Austin! It was me all along!" And I was like talking to her about it for like 10 minutes, and I realized, wait a minute, You weren't even fucking alive yet.
Dude, why? Tell me why Dennis Leary has filled so many, like, he has filled cracks in my brain that I didn't even know was, like, with, like, specific insults, just like Bill Burr. Like, what was that?
Why did you punch my muffins?
The movie that Dennis Leary was in, The Ref. Like, you had me watch that when we were teenagers.
I got it on VHS,
and it was like one of the best fucking insults I've ever heard in my life, where he was like, "What are you besides a fucking waste of space?"
Oh yes.
Like, dude, I laughed
obsessed with that when we were
so hard. It was so good, but like there was just like a weird kind of void in my brain that Dennis Leary just occupied, and ready for me to tell people to fuck off at any time.
He holds a special place in my heart, but he also stabbed that heart when he introduced Dane Cook at Comics Come Home.
Right. I mean, I don't think he really.
No, he didn't know, of course, but
I don't think Dennis Leary was outed, or Dennis Leary. I don't think fucking I can't even remember his name. Dane Cook was outed as a thief.
No. That was his breakthrough performance. That was his performance of Everything's Wet.
Yeah, and Dane Cook's such a fucking piece of shit.
He's a flamingo on Ritalin who. Hey, what did Louis C.K. What did the jerk off say?
Louis C.K. Also accused of stealing jokes, I think.
Yeah, Louis C.K. was jerking off in front of people.
He's jerking off in front of the housekeeper or something.
And he was so like in his comedy was so against that kind of thing, like just not being a human piece of shit. And then he's still doing comedy.
Well, I don't know. If you go back and listen to a lot of his old shit, he is talking about
perverted stuff,
like jerking off in his hotel room and then standing outside of the fucking hotel, like drinking a fucking coffee in his robe. Like he's always been like.
He's
that
like,
fucking,
hey guys, this is my Weinstein face.
Right.
Weinstein face.
For me, that's like people being surprised that Louis C.K. got caught jerking off in front of somebody.
It's like the Pee Wee Herman thing. Exactly the same thing.
It's pretty much the same thing, but it's the same if like people were surprised at Little Dicky for making a Jew joke, like
holy shit,
or a dick joke, or a dick joke. Like,
is that like Little White rapping about Oxy?
Right, or fucking Cottonmouth Kings rapping about weed. Like, find a new topic. But anyway, yeah. So we're like,
are we telling Little Dicky he can't rap about being Jewish anymore? Because he does it pretty well.
No, I'm just
he's
saying,
pretty good at being Jewish.
Being surprised at Louis C.K. doing that.
Yeah.
Being surprised that insert generic thing here, like anyone doing something that they already do.
But Louis C.K. did like champion both Carlos Mencia, which Carlos Mencia he's that comedian you would listen to for like a year, and you were like, yeah, he's really good, and then you realize that every joke is kind of just structured the same exact way, and it's always, look, here's the difference of how you're white and I'm not.
Right. I have an unpopular opinion. I don't like George Lopez.
I hate George Lopez.
Like, I do not.
He's overrated.
I do not think he's funny. I got tired of waking up to Lowrider at 2:30 in the morning because I fell asleep with the TV on. Like, and why are you on every channel, George Lopez?
And why does he host everything? He's in the fucking music video with Joyner Lucas.
It's like fucking
what the fuck does he have to
next thing you know, Steve Harvey's gonna intro the next Tech Nine song. Like
Tech Nine just did a song with The Rock.
Yeah, I know.
And he's actually good at rap.
It's all over fucking TikTok. No, you know what?
He's mediocre.
Go back and listen to that shit.
Oh no, we know it's like fucking soft writing.
No, the shit is. Hey,
it's generic.
Nobody's gonna tell Dwayne The Rock Johnson that his rhymes were trash, and they were fucking trash. He had a couple good lines that were like referencing fucking wrestling.
Yeah,
and his name,
the probable.
And
but he was off. He was out of pocket too.
Like, but it's just fucking. No, do you think when he was in there recording, somebody was like?
I mean, he proudly said it was one take.
He's got yes men all over the fucking place just because he's so goddamn big. Tech Nine probably hit him up like, hey, you want to do like a little intro? He's like, give me a verse.
Give me a verse. Like, 16.
Like, fuck
on The Rock. Like, I eat 95 pancakes a minute.
Right. I don't even think it was 16 bars. I think he had like half a fucking verse. But nobody's gonna tell that dude it's trash. Nobody's gonna tell him it's trash.
He straight up did the face off fucking hand motion, and I'm like, well, at least he knows what corny movie he's talking about.
Right.
That's one of my favorites.
And it's fine. Like, people are putting it all over their fucking TikTok, The Rock.
I mean,
does anybody remember the fucking the WWE album when everybody tried to do their own shit?
He was the most cringiest of them all. Stone Cold had a better song than The Rock, and like he did one with what was his name? What was that? Mystical. He did a song with Mystical, I think, off of the album Pie. Just, God, that was awful.
And also, my sister wanted me to give her credit for the whole giblets thing with the Crocs.
Yeah, he sent me the text message.
Yeah, because like
she's like, I want credit.
I completely forgot who brought that up.
Wait, I'm sorry. She cannot be. She who not be named on our podcast with her comment. Okay, listen here, little missy.
Yeah, go check the YouTube comments. It's really funny.
Between the two of us, I'm the only one that has on his resume comedian. Okay, goddamn it, I got paid. It's okay. It's
yeah,
okay.
He's flustered. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
He'll be all right in about like a couple minutes.
I love you anyways, Nikki. You don't know what you're doing.
But so, yeah, there's your credit. She's the one who told me what the name was. I had no idea they had a name. I just thought,
I think it's ingenious, but I also think I am mad that it's ingenious.
Yeah,
it's evil geniusism.
Like we said before, it's one of the things like you're mad you didn't think of it first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right. So I just went to take a pee in your bathroom, and
I'm glad that's where you did it.
It just scared me shitless. Like, which is the perfect place to be shitless. But I lifted the toilet seat to take a pee, and halfway through my pee, the toilet seat almost it goes to fall down, and it scared the shit out of me to the point that I almost whipped my dick and pissed all over the place, but I didn't. But it stopped halfway, it was about to, it fell with the force of gravity, it was about to fall all the way down and just stopped halfway. Scared the shit out of me.
I'm fairly certain some of the yellow marks on the wall from my son experiencing.
Dude, that's terrifying.
It is, because that thing comes down and you're beheaded.
And you feel like you're gonna fucking, it's just gonna...
guillotine for your dick.
Yeah. It's crazy. scared the piss out of me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's more likely it scared the piss out of you.
Yeah, that was
okay.
That was interesting.
Well, that's not what I thought you were gonna say about my bathroom, but I'm glad.
Yeah, it's not like I had to clean it before I used it.
Well, we're gonna leave that part out.
Yep,
well, no, I'm not gonna say.
Well, I guess
so. That's the end of this.
That's the end of the second episode. We keep saying the episode of the podcast. Thank you for listening to This Will Hurt You More Than Us.
Or this is going to hurt us.
or this hurts you more than us.
They're interchangeable. I don't give a fuck.
They're super... If you Google it, it still pops up. Who gives a fuck?
Right.
But there were some discrepancies with the title and issue. It doesn't matter. This will hurt you more than us.
Yep.
Thank you so much for listening.
We appreciate you guys.
We're trying to come bi-weekly. We were going to do weekly at first, but
That's what happens when you get married. You come bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Damn, that was good.
Scheduled sex.
I remember that.
Yep.
Dude, both times, my kids were have sex on the bed where everybody's coats are. Thanksgiving sex.
That's all. Your kid's 20 feet away from us. At least he knows.
Well, I've told him several times he's lucky he didn't get swallowed. So he needs to. Okay, yeah. He's just, got to keep him reminding that he's lucky he's here because it's a 1 in a billion chance.
It's weird how some people end up being the fastest sperm, but the shittiest human.
Yo.
You turned out to be the fastest sperm to reach the egg, but you suck at life. Yeah. And that hits
I like
me
how
way too
the
hard.
sperm that reached the egg that made me was I'm going to be good for 20 years, and then I'm just going to start falling apart like some bad Legos.
Right, all right. We're
okay, yeah, we're bye.
We love you guys. Thank you for listening.
See you guys later. See you next time.
See you again in 2 weeks.
Bye.
We started with Playboys.
We started with downloading porn off of AOL.
No, it was Playboys before the internet.
Penthouse and Playboys were the way to manhood.
Right, Penthouse and Playboys. You would be walking in the woods and for some reason you found a trash bag that was tied up and it had 15 fucking nudie mags in it, and it was fucking gold.
Is that a fucking average experience more people have had?
Yeah, 100%.
That's happened.
Yes.
I've come across little bum alleys made out of bamboo, and then inside it's just wrappers and food
and a stack of porn. But I don't think kids will experience that anymore because
that would just be a phone.
It's we're arguing for the continuation of the printed media.
While streaming a podcast, complaining about streaming.
Do you know what porno mags don't have? A recorded history that you have to delete.